Hey everybody, Mr. Noland back. Gonna do some notes on modeling percent. Guys, this is gonna be a nice, easy video, and for some of you art people, you're gonna love this because you get to color. Ooh. Alright, here we go. Number one says, let's model 50%. Well, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a 10 by 10 grid, which means there's 100 squares. So 50% of 100 would be 50 of them. So let's shade in 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these right here, all I did was count over 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and went straight down. Ooh, look how nice and pretty this is. Keeping my coloring between the lines. Alright, well there you go. I just shaded in 50%. Now, how about this one? Well, I could go this way. Cut it in half. Or you can cut it in half up and down, or you can cut it up in half diagonal. Cut it in half this way diagonally. There's more than one way to split this picture up into half. Again, shade in half of it. Again, if you wanted to draw your line from here to here and shade in 50%, you could have done that. You could have drawn diagonally and shaded in one of the sections. There's more than one way to show 50%. Shaded versus unshaded. Well, there's another one. This represents 50%. Guys, if you notice, 50% of the picture is shaded, the other 50% is not shaded. Same thing here, 50% shaded, 50% unshaded. 50% shaded, 50% unshaded. Now, the next ones, it says now shade 50% of each of the following. Well, I'm going to take this star, and I'm going to cut it right down the middle like so. Now it's like a mirror image. And I'm going to shade in half of it. And there you go. You just shaded in 50%. I'm going to do the same thing with these X's. I'm just going to draw a line right there. And now it's like a mirror image. Shade in half of it. Now we have a circle. More than one way to cut it in half. I'm going to do it the easy way. I'm going to go straight up and down. Here's 50%. Look how easy these percents are, especially since it's only 50%. We will get harder as we go on, but this unit really is not hard. Fractions, decimals, and percents is a nice, easy unit. Well, look at this next one. We now have 8 lightning bolts. It says shade in 50% of them. That means half of 8, which is 4. So let's shade in 4 of them. There you go. And this last one looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is like a slice of pie, which sounds amazing right now. Chocolate pie sounds amazing. There's 8 slices, and since I'm on a diet, I have to eat half of it. So if there's 8 slices on a diet, eat half of them, so I got to eat 4 of the 8. Wow, I'm kind of craving chocolate pie now. It just sounds amazing. Well, guys, you just worked on 50%. Look how hard that was. 50%. Now the next one says to model 25%. Again, this is a 10 by 10 square, which means there are 100 small squares. So that means I have to shade in 25 of them. So here's 10, here's 20, and now I got to shade in 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's everything that I need to shade in. Well, guys, there's 25% modeling. Now, how could you take a square and cut it into fourths? Because 25% is fourths, right? Well, you can do a little T, or you can make an X. I feel like being cool, so I'm going to make an X. Now I have to shade in 25%. So if you have 4 equal sections, even though my drawing's slightly off, 4 equal sections, I need to shade in 25%, which is 1 of the 4 sections. There it is. Now look at the next one, shaded versus unshaded. Well, notice it's in halves, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade and cut it in half. And I'm going to take the unshaded and cut it in half. Now let's see how many sections I have. 1 section, 2 sections, 3 sections, 4 sections. So there's 4 equal sections. I need to shade in 25%, which is 1 of the 4 sections. So if 25% of it is shaded, how much is now unshaded? Oh, good. 3/4, which is 75%. 3 out of the 4 are unshaded, which is 75%. Alright, this next one's going to be a little bit tougher. 20%. Again, a 10 by 10 square. There's 100 squares. I need to shade in 20 of them. So that's just going to be these first 2 rows. Okay, now this one is where it's going to get tougher. 20% is the same as 1/5. So I'm going to take this square and cut it into 5 equal sections. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want 20% of it shaded in, so that means I have to shade in 1 of the 5. Alright, so shaded versus unshaded. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. Again, I need to cut it into fifths. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I know my drawing is slightly off. They all don't look equal, but I think y'all get the gist of what I'm doing here. You get the gist of what I'm doing. It's okay. So I need to shade in 1/5. We're all like, well, Mr. Noland, if you do this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 sections here. Well, can't you tell me this isn't 2/10 equivalent to 1/5? Aren't those exactly the same thing? Well, yeah, they are. So I will accept either one of these answers. you can shade all the way across one time, and that'll be one of the 5 full sections. Or if you want to shade in 2 of these and leave 8 of them undone, it's the same exact answer. So I'm personally going to shade in 2 of them. Once again, 2/10 is the same as 1/5, still 20%. Alright, let's see if there's any modeling on the back here. Ooh, alright, here we go. Try using a proportion to find an equivalent ratio. Okay, well guys, how many here, or let me take this back. How many shaded in squares do you see here? There are 3 of them. Okay. How many total squares do I have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Long day. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Well, the way you read this is 3 out of every 10 is shaded. So, percents, we haven't talked about this yet, but the percent sign, if you ever look at the percent sign, I got a 1 and I got 2 zeros. So the percent sign is always out of 100. Look, there's my 1 and there's my 2 zeros. So percentages are always out of 100. Now let's see if I can find a nice scale factor. To get from 10 to 100, what did you multiply by? Multiplied by 10. So 3 times 10 would be 30. So 30 over 100 is equivalent to 30%. So 3 out of 10 is 30%. Now I see a couple of blanks that we still have here, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank. I'm not going to mess with it. Same thing here. I'm just going to leave it blank. Don't worry about it. I think we got the gist of modeling. Hopefully these notes will help you out. Have a good one. Bye.